If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, as well as follow me and subscribe to me on all my other social media platforms. What's up, Thrashers, and welcome back once again to the Thrash Maniac 99 YouTube channel, and I am back with another album review for you guys. Yeah, a lot later than usual, but I got it out on a Saturday, so we're good to go. And I am talking about the latest offering from legendary doom metal pioneers from Sweden, Candlemass, with Sweet Evil Sun. So this came out yesterday, November 18th on Napalm Records. Of course, Candlemass, all-time greats in the world of doom metal. A lot of people call them epic doom because of the higher vocals, but to me, they're just a doom metal band, nothing else, nothing more. Well, especially over the last couple of albums, like I checked out the last one, The Door to Doom, and it's like that album kind of started to incorporate more classic metal into their doom metal sound, and this album kind of more or less continues in that vein a little bit, where they're trying to combine their classic atmospheric, bombastic, evil doom metal sound with some classic heavy metal influence. Like, I could definitely hear moments throughout this album that remind me of Judas Priest, for example, and I'm talking like old Judas Priest, like from Sad Wings of Destiny through probably Hellbent for Leather, like that late 70s or mid to late 70s period of Judas Priest. But yeah, this album, like I said, it's very much combining everything Candlemass is all about, with the doom, the evil's sinister tones, the epic qualities, and some classic metal. And you get that right out of the gate with the song Wizard of the Vortex. Like, there are all these like tempo shifts where it gets really slow and doomy, and then it gets into like a kind of Black Sabbath swing, maybe even a little bit of like Judas Priest groove here and there. Like, it just kind of goes all over the place when it comes down to the tempo shifts. And then into the title track, Sweet Evil Sun, which was the shortest track of the album, not counting the instrumental closer at the end. But this song definitely felt a little weird. It's a catchy song, no doubt, but definitely, in my opinion, the least doomy of the album. Like, this is definitely more of a classic heavy metal song. But then you get into Angel Battle, which I think was one of the big highlights of this album, because this song, Angel Battle, definitely feels like old school Candlemass, like from the Epicus, Doomicus, Metallicus through Tales of Creation era. This song definitely feels more in line with that era of Candlemass, and I think that's the reason why this song was so strong for me, is because of that more classic Candlemass feel as opposed to the more modern style of Candlemass. But I just love how everything on this song just sounded evil and dark and bombastic, and that was one of the things I loved about it. Black Butterfly tries to follow up to Angel Battle in terms of the epicness, but it kind of gets a bit muddled down by too many, I don't know what you would call it, like not necessarily the Sabbath swing per se, but more of like a groove. And while groove is felt a lot on this album, on this track in particular, didn't quite work for me. This was definitely one of the more weaker tracks of the album for me. But then it picks right back up with the song When Death Sighs, which almost sounds like When Death Calls from Black Sabbath off of Headless Cross. But this song, kind of like Angel Battle, feels like classic Candlemass again. And this one features guest vocalist Jeannie Ann Smith, and she and Johan Langquist fucking do great job together with the vocal trade-offs that they do, or even doing duet vocal parts on this song. And this was another one that was very, very strong for me. And then into Scandinavian Gods, which kind of repeats the similar formula of Black Butterfly, where it has a couple of moments of doom, but it gets too groove-laden for my taste when it comes down to Candlemass, that is. Then into the final 3 long tracks, and the longest of them all, Devil Voodoo. That one, again, similar to Black Butterfly and Scandinavian Gods, has a little bit of groove, but it's used more effectively on this track, as this track focuses more on the doom and the evilness and the atmosphere, and how the grooves were performed this time around on this track was a lot better than Scandinavian Gods and Black Butterfly. Crucified, this song definitely has a lot of Black Sabbath to it, especially in the riff work and the swings that you get. Like, this is kind of continuing where Devil Voodoo left off, with combining doom and swing and doing it kind of like they're paying homage to their biggest influence, Black Sabbath. And then Goddess, in my opinion, not the best closing of the lyrical tracks you could have, but still a solid song. Again, similar to those songs I keep talking about, just got a little too indulgent with groove. And then A Cup of Coffin, the outro, cool little outro to kind of close out the album. But yeah, overall, like I said, this album's trying to mix the trademark Candlemass sound with some modern influence and some classic metal overtones and groove. For me, Candlemass is at their best whenever they are playing great doom metal with some sped up parts. Not so much groove parts, but with more like almost speed metal sections. Kind of like off of the album Nightfall, you had plenty of speed moments, but mostly about the doom. And that's the way I like my Candlemass. Here, with all these like classic metal grooves, they kind of went down that well a little bit too much for my taste. And that's what kind of makes this album fall a little bit, as well as Johan's vocals. Like, I get it, he's older now, so his voice isn't going to sound exactly like he did on Epicus, Doomicus, Metallicus, but while I like his more gritty kind of delivery, the approach behind it was not 100% executed. Like, I'm not saying the vocals are bad, they were actually good, but just not what I'm used to from Candlemass, and that's just me. Like, I like a certain style of vocals for Candlemass, and here just didn't quite hit the nail on the head for me. But overall, the production was pretty damn solid. Like, most of the instruments are pretty even kiltered in the mix. And I actually do like how the drums do have a bit of an old school vibe, at least with the toms and the snare. The kicks, maybe a little... I don't want to say they're triggered. I don't think they're triggered, but they kind of have... Well, it has this like big thump to them. And sometimes when it's too big of a thump, it does kind of mess with my brain a little bit. But I do like the more old school approach they went for the production, and especially the drum production. So that helps it out a little bit more. So overall, when you combine the pros and the cons, this is still a good album. But I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. Just because, like I said, they kind of went down the classic metal groove well a little bit too much. But there's still plenty of doom on here, and few songs definitely captured the classic Candlemass sound. It's just, maybe for the next album, cut down on the classic metal grooves, have maybe some more sped up sections mixed with the doom, and I think it would probably be better. But of course, this is just my opinion. What did you guys think of Sweet Devil, or blah 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 blah, Sweet Evil Son by Candlemass? Let me know in the comments below, and until next time, horns high, see you guys later.
At the ballpark. Someone's gonna put lasagna.
I took a tomato.
Okay, yeah, it's Levi. It's Levi.
Damn it.
I'm done. Could I?
I really want to know what he got for this one. All right, Seth, let's go Tomato Town.
I would like a single slice of your greatest tomatoes
I
in
would
the
like your
park.
finest tomato, please.
Calm down, Seth. Calm down, Seth. Calm down.
Somebody vote.
No, it's
Levi.
five is the
Levi's
max.
the one that has some
Five is
votes.
the majority.
Yeah.
Oh
my
my.
lord.
That's breathe.
Oh.
Tomato. I would be really interested to see these prompts.
Yeah, like
Officer,
literally.
please escort me out of the ballpark. I just wanted to eat my tomato.